UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's another insightful episode of the Business Roundup, a show that keeps you abreast with the trending local, regional, and international business news. I'm your host, Maureen Babidie, and let's get right into it. Government releases 19.7 trillion shillings for the last quarter expenditure of the financial year 2024-25. Tanzania Trade mission to Uganda is hailed as a testament to the strong and growing economic partnership. Insurance sector players tasked to clean house in order to grow Uganda's insurance penetration. Last but not least, EcoBank Uganda and SurePay launch a digital platform aimed at simplifying school fees payments. Don't touch your dial, it's time for business. In our first report, government has released 19.7 trillion shillings for the last quarter of the financial year 2024-25, representing 25.64% of the revised budget. This cumulative release amounts to 76.422 trillion shillings against the revised budget of 77.196 trillion shillings, indicating a 99% performance. We have more.
State Minister for Finance and Permanent Secretary to the Treasury has announced the disbursement of expenditure releases for the last quarter of the financial year, amounting to 19.79 trillion shillings.
8.9 trillion is for wage, non-wage, and development projects. Then 2.677 trillion is external financing, mainly for projects. 8.126 trillion is to cater for treasury operations, including debt and all those other obligations of the state. And 83.85 billion shillings is for the local revenue.
The statutory obligations prioritized include wages and salaries for public servants at 1.993 trillion shillings, 288.75 billion shillings for pension and gratuity, 172.64 billion shillings for Parliament. The judiciary gets 58.23 billion shillings. Auditor General's Office is getting 17.46 billion shillings. The National Planning Authority, 11.17 billion shillings, and the Electoral Commission, 94.22 billion shillings to cater for necessary preparations as the election year closes in. Agro-industrialization, tourism, minerals, science and technology continue to take center stage in realizing the tenfold growth strategy, along with their enablers like security, infrastructure, and human capital development.
First of all, the budget for this financial year was designed to support implementation of the tenfold growth strategy. As you have seen, emphasis on the release of money is on the ATMs as well as the enablers. As government, our main objective is to promote technical efficiency by ensuring that all ministries, departments, agencies, as well as local governments deliver better services to Ugandans. But as they do this, they do it at the lowest cost possible, and we put more emphasis on growth drivers and the enablers.
Uganda's GDP grew by 6.7% in the first quarter and 5.3% in the second quarter of the current financial year 2024-2025.
One of the things we have realized, and I think we have said it before, we are witnessing the weakening oversight function at the Ministry of Finance in guiding MDAs set their core set their priorities right. And I think this is why we have so many supplementary budgets. But as you recently noticed in the social media, people have started comparing a vote on medical expenses vis-a-vis a vote on a regional hospital. They could have got it wrong, but I think the message is very clear that are we budgeting for the right priorities?
Actually, World Bank report on Uganda, it shows that actually Uganda is not investing substantively in early childhood development. Early child development helps in terms of health, in terms of feeding, in terms of learning, to produce a population that will be healthy, productive, and easy to skill and productive. So I think there is underfinancing, but I know you put money in the Ministry of Gender, but I think we need to deliberately raise children that are healthy, that can be productive and innovative.
Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News in Kampala.
A high-level Tanzanian business delegation has concluded a 6-day trade mission in Uganda. The initiative is hailed as a testament to the strong and growing economic partnership between the two nations. Dennis Sigoa reports.
Uganda and Tanzania continue to enjoy a long-standing, mutually beneficial trade relationship, one that has seen significant growth in the recent years. By 2024, trade between the two countries had reached an estimated US $2.23 billion. To build on this momentum, a one-week Uganda-Tanzania trade mission has been launched, bringing together key stakeholders from both countries.
Non-tariff barriers, very unnecessary, very unfair. Sometimes I don't know whether even the governments know them, but you will discuss them. They need to go away. And because they will stop us from growing.
The success of this mission will not be measured merely by today's discussions, but by the long-term business deals and the collaboration that will emerge.
The population has increased. We have built capacity. We have increased incomes. And the consumption also has gone up. And the consumption of quality products is also in high demand. So all what is being traded between the two countries definitely is a big market.
The mission, organized by the Uganda High Commission in Tanzania, the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, and the East African Business Council, aims to deepen economic cooperation, tackle existing trade challenges, and ultimately double trade volumes by 2030.
We are not just neighbors, we are partners in development, linked by geography, culture, and common vision of prosperity. This trade mission is a crucial step in translating the vision into tangible economic benefit for our people.
The future prosperity of the peoples of our two countries and East Africa at large is premised on products and markets. And so we are happy at Private Sector Foundation to continue to foster these bilateral relations.
Throughout the trade mission, Ugandan entrepreneurs will engage in business-to-business meetings with their Tanzanian counterparts, explore investment opportunities in key sectors of the economy, and tour industrial sites.
Let's make this week about outcomes. Let's make this week about trade deals. Let's make this week about partnerships. Let's make this week about solutions. Let's make this week about policy proposals.
Uganda exports a diverse range of products to Tanzania, including iron sheets, sugar, dairy products, and pharmaceuticals. In return, Uganda imports petroleum products, textiles, machinery, rice, cereals, and minerals, largely transported via Tanzania's efficient multimodal central corridor system. Dennis Sigoa for UBC News.
In more news, Parliament chaired by Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa have deliberated on the report of the Committee on Defence and Internal Affairs on the Ministerial Policy Statement for next financial year 2025-26. In the discussions, the Minister of State for Internal Affairs, David Muhoozi, considered an opinion by members of parliament on empowering the judiciary to address case backlog rather than constructing more prisons. Let's have a look.
Parliament resumed on Thursday afternoon to, among others, progress with the budget cycle for the next financial year 2025-2026. Thomas Tayewa, the Deputy Speaker, chaired the House where the Parliamentary Committee on Defence and Internal Affairs presented its report on the scrutinised ministerial policy statements for the forthcoming financial year. The MPs expressed several reactions on the operations of the Uganda Police Force, including the slow response to various crime scenes.
And yet sometimes they will always tell you they don't have fuel for their motorcycle. They will always tell you to first of all send money before reaching where there's a lot of problem.
Although about 74% of police officers lack institutional accommodation, the committee noted that the development budget for the Assistance to Uganda Police Project will close in this financial year 2024-2025, yet Uganda shillings 52.858 billion is allocated for financial year 2025-2026. Additionally, the development budget has been further enhanced by Uganda shillings 164 billion for institutional development to retool Uganda Police Force. The report had provided for accommodation and infrastructure, allocating Uganda shillings 18 billion for the construction of one Minimax prison. But Kasanda South MP Kabuye Frank interested the House to consider empowering the judiciary to address case backlog than adding more prisons. The Minister of State for Internal Affairs, David Muhoozi, was in agreement. Government noted that the prisoner population rises by 8% annually.
We have been advocating and crying out to the government to come and let the Justice Ministry or the justice sector provide justice to these our young people.
So we need more innovative ways of addressing this backlog other than building more prisons.
The MP for Butambala County, Muwanga Chivumbi, described the proposed new project dubbed the 20-megawatt Nakasongola Solar PV power plant with a budget of Uganda shillings 28.6 billion over 5 years from next financial year as an elephant project.
A similar project was piloted in Colombia. We spent 7 billion.
Mr. David Muhoozi shared with the MPs the progress of the stipulated fresh mass enrollment of the national ident cards.
I want to announce that we are finally about to embark on enrollment within May. Our plan is to do a pilot on some government people.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Number 2 in the order paper, communication from the chair.
The Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, has urged the insurance companies to clean up their house in order to change the public perception of the sector. Professor Nwagaba argues that although insurance was introduced in Uganda in 1948, its growth has been extremely low. We have more.
The main objective of the survey conducted by Reeve Consultants in partnership with Brainchild Basson was to determine the current status of affairs in Uganda's insurance sector. Findings from the Public Perception Survey reveal a sector beset by service delivery gaps that have stifled growth.
You have not educated the people in your industry. Imagine you are in industry, you come and open your shop and you don't tell people what, even the people we know, even the people who are driving taxis. That's why you are saying the Kawempe Maganjo, Kagoma, guys, Kawempe Maganjo, they are telling you even in the car, the stages where the car is going.
Professor Augustus Nwagaba, the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, urged sector players to be innovative, persistent and aggressive in raising awareness about insurance.
Areas of inquiry for the survey, knowledge and understanding of the concept of insurance and the products that you offer, you need to work out that and engage properly, then access to formal and also informal insurance, perception about insurance, experience regarding the process.
The insurance sector, led by the regulator, concur with the survey findings acknowledging that more needs to be done to scale up operations and grow beyond the current penetration rate of 0.80%.
These are the things which we have told the players to work on, and I am happy that to a certain extent, some of them have been worked on, but many of them need to be improved. And I know from the engagements I have had with the players, they are more than willing to change, but their changing might not be as fast as I wanted it.
And GDP may be growing at 5 or 6 or 7%, but when you have nothing, 5 or 6 or 7% of nothing is nothing. The only way we can increase penetration is if Ugandans have more money in their pocket to spend. Therefore, they'll buy assets that they can insure.
The Insurance Regulatory Authority pledged to step up efforts to shift public perception and also called mainstream government institutions to re-evaluate their stance on insurance in order to realize meaningful progress in the sector.
The mainstream government needs also to change on how they perceive insurance and the contribution of insurance to the entire bigger economic space. I know when the ambassadors increase, it helps us that many people now start appreciating the value of insurance to the economic development of a country.
In more business news, the 2025 Energy Access Investment Forum discussion prioritized a need for increased funding for the energy sector and more public-private partnership. The three-day event in Kampala, which attracted at least 600 participants, was organized by the Alliance for Rural Electrification, co-hosted by the EU through its Global Gateway initiative.
Electricity powers nearly every aspect of modern life, from household appliances and lighting to transportation, communication and industrial processes. The 10th edition of Energy Access Investment Forum is a leading annual event for the renewable electrification sector. It fosters business and investor partnerships aimed at ensuring sustainable electricity access, decarbonization, economic growth, and combating climate change, among others.
It's possibly the largest, or definitely one of the largest, energy access conferences that have been organized in Kampala to date, and so we are very happy to be under the patronage of the ministry to really bring big, small, medium European as well as African companies together, because this is very important for ARV, is this win-win relationship, right? Winning between public sector and private sector. We each have our prerogative and recommendation.
A key focus of the discussion is to mobilize significant financing for the energy sector and empowering public-private partnerships to enhance last-mile electricity access and connectivity.
Government is committing even financing, but the financing is not adequate and government cannot do it all. The technologies are there, but those technologies cost money. So coming together, development partners, the private sector, each one of these segments have got their strength. While government is good at policies and so on, the private sector is good in bringing the technologies and also delivering the services.
The Minister of State for Energy, Okasai Opolot, emphasized that Uganda is committed to expanding both off-grid and on-grid electricity connections.
And we are taking the two concurrently. If you have off-grid, a solar, that's electricity. When you are on-grid, that's electricity.
The Energy Access Investment Forum 2025 is part of a European program designed to mobilize investments in renewable energy.
But at the same time, to get economic growth, you need electrification. So it's a bit of a catch-22, and it's all about then priorities, and let's say another option, loans, which one has to be a bit careful about, obviously.
Crispus Arinitwe for UBC Business Roundup.
EcoBank Uganda and SurePay have launched a digital platform aimed at simplifying school fees payments. The digital payment platform introduces a free, secure and user-friendly platform for schools, students and parents to collect and manage school fees. We captured the groundbreaking partnership in our corporate news.
So the partnership we are having with School Pay, effectively we are looking at it from a school fees payment solution, both for the parent and for the school, and to some extent even us ourselves. We are all parents, we all pay school fees. So we also have to take advantage of the solution to make our life easy so that people can pay school fees from wherever they are. At the same time, the school can identify your child. The special thing about SurePay is the extra capability that it gives the schools. They have an array of benefits. They have reconciliation for the school. They have supplier data management. So all those people who supply into the school, that data is good for us as a bank. Why? If I'm banking the school, if I'm financing the school, it would be in my interest as the bank to grow by also getting in touch with the suppliers.
If we no longer now need the bursar, we no longer need the accountants, because now this system is okay, it's going to be okay. We are going to reduce the convoys in the bank, because this is a digital now. It is just a SurePay. You just pay from where you are. So this system is going to be so efficient.
EcoBank has a number of schools that are banking with EcoBank, but they are using manual processes whereby their students are still going to the banks using bank slips, and that is creating long queues, which is disrupting normal business from other people who are not school fees payers. So by this groundbreaking partnership that we've just signed today, it is a confirmation that EcoBank has accepted to transform, to change the way it's been operating and go digital.
And thank you so very much.
Uganda was recognized and awarded at the just concluded annual investment meeting, AIM Congress 2025, in the United Arab Emirates. The AIM Awards were aimed at recognizing the best performing investment promotion agencies across the globe. We have a report.
From the United Arab Emirates, Ambassador Zaki Kibedi has brought the AIM Investment Award 2025 home, which he handed over to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at a ceremony presided over by the State Minister for Investment, Evelyn Anite.
This is largely because of the policy of transforming our embassies and foreign affairs from just doing diplomacy to doing commercial diplomacy. I commend Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Permanent Secretary and all the ministers in Foreign Affairs and all the ambassadors that we have sent abroad for working tirelessly to ensure that this policy of transforming Uganda's foreign affairs to doing commercial diplomacy. Congratulations.
For the third consecutive year, Uganda has received this prestigious recognition not by chance, but through deliberate and strategic efforts, says Vincent Bajire, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The government of Uganda has been consistent, and specifically the NRM government, in facilitating investment with enablers such as electricity. You know our journey in as far as electricity generation is concerned.
Uganda continues to attract foreign direct investments. In the recent months, the United Arab Emirates has emerged among the top investors and remains a key export market for Ugandan products.
Under economic and commercial diplomacy, we look at promoting exports. As you are well aware, as I said before, that Uganda established this mission to promote economic and commercial diplomacy. For the first time in history, UAE last year became #1 market destination for Ugandan products.
Ambassador Zake Kiberi says the Ugandan consulate in the UAE has adopted a unique and proactive approach which is drawing attention of the UAE investors and positioning Uganda as a prime investment destination.
Last year in October, we commissioned a Uganda Business Center in Dubai. The business center now, its major mandate is to do a follow-up of all the engagements we do in investments, in trade, in tourism. For example, after the recently concluded Uganda-UAE Business Forum, we've had over 10 companies that have come on ground, and they've been 100% facilitated by the business center.
The AIM Investments Award 2025 were designed to recognize the best performing investment promotion agencies from across the globe.
Uganda's energy mix is not starting tomorrow. We're already in Uganda's energy mix. Why? In Uganda, we promote alternative sources of energy, not only the grid. We have solar, which is quite common. Now we are bringing in nuclear. We have biofuels, ethanol that we are promoting. People still use firewood and charcoal, but what are we encouraging? Let's use briquettes instead. Let's use improved energy saving stoves that can maybe use less charcoal. But we're also promoting LPG, liquefied petroleum gases, that in Uganda we commonly call gas. We are trying to promote this, and we have more people investing in it, and we hope that from the oil exploration that Uganda is moving into, there's a lot of LPG, a lot of gas that will come that will repackage and distribute. So we're already in the energy mix, but we want to make it bigger so that people don't think it's just about grid electricity. Maybe now we see solar and then nuclear.
In another development, the Tanzanian business delegation that arrived in Kampala on Monday this week for a one-week trade mission toured the Liaoshen Industrial Park in Kapeka. The mission aimed to deepen economic cooperation with Uganda, tackle existing trade challenges, and ultimately double trade volumes by 2030.
Specifically for Tanzania, we have a balance of trade deficit tilted in favor of Tanzania. They export almost goods worth $2 billion, whereas we are yet to even hit. I think we do last financial year we did 180 or thereabout $1 million, which is a huge balance of trade deficit. So in addressing this, we thought we could identify specifically these distributors and buyers of particular products in various areas, including construction materials, building materials, pharmaceuticals, then agro-processing, which we thought they can now source in order to indeed find ways of breaking even this balance of trade deficit.
If you have more than 10,000 or 1K factories like this, it will be much better to produce the employment. Also, we have to make revolutions in agriculture and industrial revolution. Industrial revolution and the agricultural revolutions will make the country to be wealth. You know, that's the country which have been developed well now. It's like a Chinese was the one like we are, but now they have far marriages and wealth and everything. It's now that even all the Africa's Chinese coming and investing in this area.
As we speak right now, the word tariff is probably on every entrepreneur's lips. But do you know what a tariff means? A tariff is a duty imposed by a national government, customs, territory, or supranatural union on imports of goods. There you have it. But you're free to do more research though. Thank you for staying with us to the very end of the show. I'm Maureen Babidie. Good night.